video we're going to talk about basics of improvising, or basic playing or melody playing over a major key. Now major keys, major scales, they have a certain sound to them based on the distance of the scale degrees or scale tones of the notes in that scale. So for a C scale, for example, the notes in the C scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, B. They are the 7 scale tones, or the scale degrees, or the scale diatonic degree. So if we were to play some music in the key of C, for example, we'll put a sound on here in the background. So there is a C major sound, and if we were to play the C scale over that, it would sound something like this. So each of those notes in the C scale, they fit the sound I'm playing, because all those notes are of the scale. So in saying that, even though the notes all fit, there will be a dissonance or a clashing of some notes over that sound, because what you're hearing in the background is a C major chord, and the C major chord is made up of 3 of those diatonic notes that I spoke about, and that is the first, the third, and the fifth. So those 3 notes, the first, third, and the fifth, some people call them arpeggios, some call them chord tones, and those are, as I said, first, third, and fifth. So what is that? The first note of the scale C, the third note is E, and the fifth note being G. So all those 3 notes together make up the actual C chord. So if I was to play any of those 3 notes, it would not clash with the chord. It would sound in harmony with the chord. So that I'm very safe in playing those 3 notes. So does that mean I can't play the other notes? No, it just means I've got to be a bit careful as to how they sound with the chord, how they harmonize with the chord, or how they might even add some tension to the chord or dissonance to the chord, because they're not actually part of the chord. So if I was to play something that would enhance those 3 notes that fit with the chord, it could sound something like this. So what I was playing was a variety of those 7 notes that I mentioned before, the 7 diatonic notes of the scale, but I was kind of enhancing either the first, the third, or the fifth. So that's why there was a lot of harmony in that. So it was sounding, it was a pleasing sound to the ear over that chord, C chord background. If I was to play a little bit differently, and I wasn't sure what I was playing, I was just told the scale, and I chose notes out of the scale because, oh, okay, they all fit. But here's a way of adding a bit of tension that doesn't quite go with the backing track in C. You can sound a bit like this, a little bit dissonant. What I did at the end there was I actually resolved a bit of that tension by going to the root note, C. So those other notes, if I enhance those too much, they do sound dissonant and adds a lot of tension to the ear, a lot of tension to the listener. So they could be thinking, oh, what's going on there? So all I did was just enhance those other diatonic notes that are not part of the chord. but I can add tension and release. What those tension chords do, or the tension notes, those dissonant notes, they want to resolve. They have a feeling, you can hear it. They want to resolve to one of those chord tones to be able to then release that tension. So here's a tension note that I'll enhance here. We'll play the F. A bit of tension there, so I'm going to resolve that back down to the E. You can hear that being released. I'll even release up to the G note. So I can play the F note in such a way that it sounds quite nice over the chord. It all depends on how you sort of present that note, because you know it's causing tension, but if you can build up that tension to a point where now I'm going to release it, it is quite an exciting way of playing over or in an improvisation, or playing a melody of something that sort of is pleasing to the ear. So I mean, in saying that, where do we find the C scale? Well, anywhere on the fretboard where you have a C note, you can follow the scale. There's 5 different fingering patterns that work on the guitar, and so if I just play the background for you a little bit, and I'll play the 5 different positions for you in the C scale. Here's the first position, or the first. If I said so, the first position I'm going to play for you. Scale tones or arpeggios in that, so if I'm playing only the first and third in that position, we have so they're the arpeggio notes. Now the position for you could be this one. Arpeggios there. Next position. And the arpeggios. Another position. Oh, I mixed up there. I'm playing the scales, it's got the whole scale. And the arpeggios. Mistake, you can make mistakes, it's okay. We'll do it again. And another position down here, or up here. And the arpeggios. So have a go at learning those 5 positions, and once you've found the scale positions, then find out the first, third and fifths of those positions where they're the arpeggios, or chord tones if you like, and then start improvising. So improvising in that key, there's lots of different ideas you can have. You might want to even play, some people call double stops, you're playing two notes together. I like to call them intervals, whereas you can play two notes of that scale together to add a bit of colour and so forth. Like for example, so I'm not playing full chords there, I'm playing intervals. I'm playing two notes of a certain interval or distance from each other. So for example, here I'm playing two notes of the scale. I'm playing the F, or the G note and the C note. So add a bit of excitement to the playing and so forth. There's interval notes all over the guitar for different keys. That's another distance of scale degree of sixths, if you call it. So have a go at improvising. The major key, as I said, has a certain sound. It's quite a uplifting, happy sound, because of the positioning of those scale tones or scale degrees, and the sound of them. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. That's a whole scale in so every major scale has that formulation. So if I play something in the key of D, for example, it has to be the same kind of sound. So if I play the key of D, it is whole step, half step, and then keep on going. Then we have a D. Same with E. Or F, So they're all the same. If you know one scale, you know them all. It's just different positioning. Let's go all the way up to, I don't know, let's just pick, we'll go A. So if you know one position or one scale, you know them all. Any questions, just let me know, call me, send a message, and we'll go next time with some basics on, we'll pick a key of D, for example, and we'll pick out maybe a Guns N' Roses piece or something. I'll see you then. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.